to be showing you how to become a developer on Roblox. So if you don't know, being a Roblox developer means a lot of things. Being able to script, build, model, do GFX, effects, VFX sounds, and everything else that you might need for a game. However, you would need to download Roblox Studio to do this. So this is only available on PC. So if you go to www.roblox.home or /home, it'll bring you to this front page. If not, log in or create an account and then log in, and then it should bring you to a screen like this. After this, go all the way to create. After you get into create, it should come up with this. If you scroll down, you would see all your experiences, including your starting place, which should be around here. Your avatar items, everything you need to know, what's new, some new skills. But what you really need to do, if it doesn't show this screen, it should show you a screen where you have to download Studio. You download Studio, and then up in downloads, it should show a setup wizard for Roblox Studio. After the setup wizard is here, you can verify everything, and then it would start downloading for you. Once it's downloaded, you would have to log into Roblox Studio, and then you should be here. If not, then click New right here. Archive is where you basically put games that you're not going to be doing anymore. Recent games or games that you are making or probably are going to make. My games are consisting of all this, especially my first place, which is filled with a lot of models, random other games that I made, and then a lot of games that I just quit on. This one I'm working on right now, Darkened Souls. It's gonna be a PvP game, battleground basically. But up top here, you can see 3 categories: my games, group games, and shared with me. If you're an owner of a group, you can create games and put it under the group. This is where all your group games comes from. If you go to shared with me, you would see games that your friends have shared with you. But as of right now, click New and select either the flat terrain, the classic base plate, or the base plate. I would go with base plate because it is the easiest and it looks the best. After you click it, wait for it to load up, and then you should be brought here. Now I will show you everything you should be knowing about the UI. So, to look around, hold down right click, or right mouse button, and drag your mouse. You can look up, you can look down, you can look left, you can look right. To move around, you simply press W, S, A, or D. E can go up, Q can go down. And if you hold that left mouse button and you drag it across the screen, it can highlight stuff within this little box. And the middle button is used to pan your screen, left, right, up, down, and whatsoever. So what you want to do first is, if you want, this is called a spawn location. If you don't see these 2 menus, or if you don't even see this menu, up here should be a little arrow, and it should show that. So you can close it, open it, close it, open it, and then you should see tabs appear. So if you go over here to this, there's a little pop-up menu over here where you can select anything you want. Click block and go towards your part. But that's not our main goal right now. Our main goal is, if you see up here, there should be home, model, there should be avatar, test, view, and plugins. What we're mainly focusing on right now is view. Once you're in view, click the explorer and the properties to see these two menus. If they are not in their respective spots, or like this, you can freely customize them by dragging them around the screen. Like this. And it would work. Now that we've got that out of the way, you can resize these to make them cover more screen or less of your screen. This, I would say, is the recommended amount. After that, take your part and right click it in the Explorer. It should be under baseplate. If not, just find it. And then you would get this pop-up menu. You got copy and you got paste. You got cut and you got paste into at original location. Paste into basically means, like, if I were to copy this, then I were to delete it, instead of pressing Ctrl-Z to bring it back, I can merely just right click base plate or any other part, and I can press paste into, and it would be going under as a child of the base plate. Meaning, if I selected the base plate, this would be a child of it. But never mind that, Ctrl-C or Ctrl-Z is used to undo your past mistakes. So if I press delete right now and then I press Ctrl-Z, there you go, pops back up. With the properties, you can mess around with everything inside it. Like, I can mess around with the size. I would say the X coordinate of this would be 10, making that bigger. This could be 10, making that bigger. Or this could be 10, making that bigger. A 10 by 10 cube. These little squares are called studs. They represent many measurements of the Roblox map. Of course, you can make your own map. So after that, you can go to home, and then you can mess around with the cube. The four main tools here are select, move, scale, and rotate. Select means that you could click it and you could drag it around wherever you want. Move basically gives you these arrows to precisely move it. Up, down, left, right. Whatever. After that, scale. Scale lets you precisely move everything. And if you want to zoom in to your little block, press F. After that, you can scale it, make it big, make it small, make it flat. And finally, it's rotate. Now, rotating can be like this, but if you want, you can go into model. And once you're in model, you can click this if it's not already checked. If it's unchecked, you can move it around like that. And it's so smooth, it doesn't give you a precise one, but at least it rotates it pretty good. And the move. which basically moves the thing 5 studs of 0.5 studs, or how many studs you put it to. So like say I made it to move 10 studs, so that would be like this far to like right here. So if I did this, it would jump to right here. Now if I unclick that, I'm able to move it freely. It won't, the studs won't interact with it, so it's fine. But if you check them, then it would start to move at 0.5 studs or whatever you set it to, and it will rotate to whatever you set it to for each rotation. My recommended settings are 15 for rotate and 0.5 for move. After that, you have collisions and join surfaces. Join surfaces basically means that, like, if I were to duplicate this with Control D, and then I were to make it go into here, it would join together. Like there would be a highlight. There would be a little highlight indicating that you're about to smash into the wall, making it precise. Collisions basically means I can't move it in. See? Like if it smashes into something, I can't move it in, because it'll just keep smashing into the wall. That's what collisions does. Now, we have to talk about something new. We have the terrain editor right here next to toolbox. You can generate terrain, which basically whatever you click down here, choose biomes and all that, you can choose it, and then when you press generate, it'll generate it for you. See, it generated a small desert area. But if you want to make your own, you can always use edit. And if you press draw, you can do your brush mode, the height, the base, the pivot, everything, and then you can set it to whatever you want, and then you can start painting your terrain. Sorry. Once you've done that, you can start painting your terrain. It's a neat little feature. And now, if you do paint, you could get water or something, and you can start painting the entire surface water. Paint the entire surface water. Or limestone, or whatever else you want to paint it to. So if I did glacier and all that. So now I got a little snowy part in the middle of here. And I have water, well, not water, and I have some magma over here. Some magma all around. Some sidewalk asphalt. Some basalt. And then I could have pavement. A little pavement. And that's all for the terrain. The flatten basically means whatever level you set it to right here. If you like hover the entire thing over here, it will flatten it to that level, and it auto levels for you. But after that, you can also smooth it out, so you can make everything smoother to make it level out more. Or you can sculpt it, which means you can bring it up and you can move it around. like you're moving clay or dough. Now you see I made a little spot here. Nice little spot. Just move it. And I got a little spot here. Sea level basically sets the level on where the sea could be. So if I created a sea level right here, it would summon water at that spot. But if I made it huge and I set it below the island, it will replace the air with water or whatever. And once you go here, all of this would be water. After that, there's also the toolbox, in which you probably already know. This is where you can get a ton of items, but most of them I would not recommend because they can break your game badly. I would not use any of the free models. I would make your own, but go ahead, if you feel like it, do it. It's like you could summon anything, like I can summon a laser gun. Just summon a little laser gun right here. And there you go, laser gun. Or, if you want, you can summon a bouncy house. Like that, and then you can set it to the ground. There's possibilities are endless on here, but there's a lot of things that you might not see. But that's basically it for right now. Then of course you got the material manager, in which if you have a part like this, you could set it to anything, like asphalt. Set it to asphalt, fabric, cracked lava, corroded metal, concrete, ground, ice, force field, anything you can imagine, you can set it to. Then after that, you can also use the material generator, which is new. It's a AI generated materials. So what if I said dog? If I said I wanted a dog material, fur or something like that, then it would generate something like a dog. And this would be able to go onto anything. So if I set this to white and I put a dog on there, it will put this. Then if I made it organic, maybe not organic. Yeah, once I do that, I can set the base material to anything I want, like wood. And then I save and apply the variant. And basically once that's there, now you have dog material. That looks like he has a top hat. Now you got color. Color is used to color anything you want. So say if I wanted this to be green, I can make it green. What if I wanted it to be yellow? I can make it yellow. How about red? Red. Or maybe brown. Freddy Fazbear. Another thing that you should probably do is anchor, because let me demonstrate. There are physics in this game in which things can fall. There's a pop-up menu at the thing here, the play button, If I press run, it will run the game, but I will not be in it. So I'll run the game to see if everything works. And oh no, our dog picture fell. Not a problem, because if we select it, we can anchor it. What anchoring basically does is it solidifies it in the position where it is now. So you see, it's not falling anymore. What lock basically does is it locks this. So basically, I'm not able to select it anymore. See? I'm not able to select it. The only way you're able to select it is through the part menu. And within the pop-up menu, you can also delete it, or you could rename it. These two, group as a folder. Let me give you an example of that. So say I put a ton of parts down. Say I just duplicated them, put them all over the place. And I made them all... Ooh. Say I did that. And I made all of these green. And I want to somehow make them into like a green grass. Like this. Like a leaf pile. There you go, leaf pile. Then how would I like group them? Well, there are two types of grouping. You got grouping, which is Control G, or you can right click all of it and you can press group as a model. Group as a model groups it all, so it'll all move together. However, if you group as a folder, which is Control Alt G, or you right click it and you press group as a folder, the parts won't move together, but they will be in the same folder. A folder is better for organizing, and models are used to group things together. Make sure they stick. And in the game settings, if I save this, I can save it to whatever I want, like, I don't know, how about, or development videos. Then I'll put something in here. How about like and subscribe, and then hit the bell for more notifications. Hit the hit, yes, hit the hit. Hit the bell for more notifications. Oh crap, I didn't save it. And then after that, you can set the creator to whatever you want, a group or yourself. Crap. How about this? That should be fine. You can set the devices to whatever can be able to play. So if it's not like tablet friendly or phone friendly, then you could just delete that. What if it's like VR? Maybe you could use VR. And you can just press agree. Or console. Probably maybe Xbox can use it. Well then, if they can do that, then there you go. Then you press save. I'm not sure why it's not responding, but yeah. Oh, come on. Come on, don't crash on me. It's not a big game. It's fairly small. Close program. My bad, guys. My fault. Okay, so well, I'll just go into my Dark Souls game. But as I was saying, if you save the game and do all that, you can actually, these are not free models, by the way, these are my actual builds. I know they kind of suck, don't mind the decal thing I put on there. But if you go to game settings and you save your game, it should show a menu like this. Different categories, everything you would need to know, screenshots, videos, trailers, game icons, age recommendations, everything like that. Communications, like enabling microphone, enabling camera, more permissions, like playability, who can play the game and all that. Monetization, which is basically Robux, developer products, game passes, other stuff like that. And you got security, which is, you don't need to worry about this right now. Then you got places, which places could consider of like how many people can play the game and all that. Then you got localization, which is like what's the source language, which is default English, translations and all that. Then you got avatar. This is what I was talking about. So my settings right now is R6. So whenever your character joins the game, they will be R6, which means any of their custom animations, it'll just switch to default. But since I switched the animation to standard, the animations I set within my animate scripts, those animations will play when the player walks, does actions and all that. And these are if you want to bypass like their avatar, like customize their avatar. So if you wanted to make them all look like a squirrel, you can make them look like a squirrel. The world. This, you can tinker around with the gravity, making it high gravity, low gravity, moon type crap. The jump. It could be jump height or jump power. Jump height is how high they can jump. 2 meters is pretty high. And then their walk speed. So their max jump distance will be calculated down here, and the max slope angle they can climb at. So basically like steep angles. And other is if you want to shut down all your servers for maintenance, or if you want to enable collaborative editing, which basically means if you collaborate with your friends on the game, your friends are able to mess around in the script with you in order to tinker the game. If you press save, it'll like save everything for you. Import 3D. So if you're using something like Blender or anything to model, and you exported it as an FBX, which is basically suitable for Roblox, you can go here and look for your file, and then you can import it into the game. Please note that maybe some models may not work, maybe not show up or anything, so make sure it is top notch. Then you got UI. UI basically means like user interfaces. Like if you wanted to make a main menu or something like that, UI is the way to go. Now, scripts. Scripts can be used to do anything. Like these two scripts are used for time. So when I press play, the first script, the day and night cycle, will switch between day and night in orderly fashion, like this. It'll be a clock down here, and if you know military time, you would know to minus 12 hours from this, and you would get the amount of time. And you can see this sun is moving slowly but surely. The sun is moving. You've got buildings everywhere, and these are custom animations, as you can see. These are not normal animations. This is all the animations and everything. You got a lot of pipes you can go through, zoom around them. And then, once you press stop, there you go. So that's basically what the script does. There are also plugins in which you can get. Some are free, some are not. I would recommend looking online for the best plugins for you. Like, if you're a builder, you might want bevel or something like that, because if you have a part here, select it and duplicate it a few times, you could get the plugin bevel, which basically makes the bricks look like this. So if I set it to 4.5, that's not what it's supposed to look like. But if I set it to 0.5, however, and then I beveled the part, it would look like this. It would look smooth. And then you got building tools. You got resize align, which will basically resize it so that it'll resize everything. You got gap fill, which will fill gaps with parts and anything like that to make it look better. And then finally, you have Archimedes, which Archimedes, you can set it to whatever you want. Set it to any measurements. Then after that, you can make a circle. Or you can Archimedes your way through it, and you can make anything with the Archimedes. And if I select everything, I can also bevel all of them. So now I look like Tic Tacs. A circle of Tic Tacs. But if I go to the material manager, make them bricks, and I make them red, now what do you think they look like? They look like actual bricks. See, now that's pretty cool, isn't it? We got actual bricks. Now you might be asking, how do you get these plugins? Well, to get these plugins, you go to the toolbox. In the toolbox, you can get this pop-up menu over here, and you can see plugins, audio, images, meshes, videos, fonts. Fonts are for UI, videos are for UI, meshes are special models and all that. Images, you already know what images are, for decals, textures, everything like that. Audio is for anything you would need for like sound and all that. Then you got plugins. Plugins can help you make a lot of stuff. Like there are anti-cheat plugins, rig edit plugins to help you animate better, special cosmetic, and a lot of other stuff. But that will all be explained next time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time.